So back to the mind, how does the mind then get worked on in Nithya Yoga? So we mentioned this in the other webinars. Basically, the vehicles for working with the mind are meditation, and then practices that Swamiji has given us, such as meditation such as Nithya Dhyan, which we still love doing and find it extremely useful. Ian Kriya, a beautiful meditation he gave 2 years ago. And now the Kriyas, the Nithya Kriyas, Swamiji's given to the world. We gave a small introduction yesterday of what Nithya Kriya is, what Kriya is. But in the Nithya Yoga practice, this is what we're using, is small meditation of centering, intention, visualization, and then ending the asana practice with a Nithya Kriya. Okay. So these are the way that we're breaking through. Now, how does this work? How can this actually affect the mind? What's happening is these practices actually lower the number of thoughts per second. I see. So when you and I talked about how much our mind is racing, trying to cope with, you know, the everyday life, that exact amount of thoughts is keeping us from being present in the body, keeping us from being fulfilled. So when we lower the thoughts per second, there's actually a gap between two thoughts. This gap is the space where we feel fulfillment.
Or bliss.
Or bliss, or other words. What other words do you think? Bliss, fulfillment, contentment.
Contentment.
Yeah.
And some people will happiness.
And energy.
Energy.
This is where we'll also find energy, because all these thoughts per second actually are weighing us down. If you recall yesterday that we said, Swamiji said, even our thoughts have weight. So all this is physically manifested in the body. Mentally the thoughts have weight. That manifests physically also. So the Nithya Yoga practice is working, of course, at the body level, and now we see that it's working at the mind level also, allowing the thoughts to come down and experience that. I know some of you that have done yoga have experienced that peace, that bliss. Okay. So Nithya Yoga for the mind will do that.
So you do any pranayama?
Yeah, Nithya Yoga practice is pranayama. Now in today's practice, if you recall, I said yesterday the Kriya is comprised of pranayama, asana, sometimes mudra, sometimes mantra.
Okay.
Now the pranayamas are an integral part. What is pranayama? Pranayama simply is called controlled breathing. So you and I, when we're breathing regularly, that's not pranayama. But if we have a set rhythm for a breath, or a set amount of time that we're using the breath, elongating the breath, those things are called pranayama. And believe it or not, there's millions of pranayama techniques out there. So
prana means the energy, isn't it?
Right.
Prana is not just the breath. The energy behind it, that's what Swamiji says, isn't it?
Yeah.
So pranayama, we work with the prana, energy behind the force in the breath.
Right.
So we are working with that,
right.
You're
and
saying. Okay.
One beautiful thing, remember Mashivananda, is prana in the temple is much higher.
Yes.
Because in a highly energized space, that's exactly what's being built, is the prana. So when we do these practices in a temple, that's another added benefit.
So that's why in Toronto or Sedona or here, this will be, you know, in these 8-day programs, we do have these practices in the temple sometime. Yeah. So that'll, you know, be easier to do, connect with the prana you're saying. Yes. So that's wonderful.
Right. So the pranayama is a way to, as you said, infuse the body with more prana, and then to there's so many things that can happen. I work with triathletes, and we talk about these pranayama practices actually can help their lung volume capacity. Of course, it'll give them more energy. There's many, many benefits of pranayama, including in the ancient texts. If you look, there's the pranayamas we'll give today actually directly affect digestion. And we talked in another webinar about the three humors, bile, phlegm, and it's similar to the doshas, vata, pitta, kapha. It'll directly affect the fire, the water, and the phlegm in the body. So
I heard recently you met with the people who are doing sports, some kind of sports. Are they runners, or marathon runners, or somebody you met and you were talking to them about how the prana can help them?
Yeah.
And they were, really
so
using
in one
that
of my
technique.
in one of my yoga classes, I am having these young triathlete men. The people are so into the body now. They just are pushing the body to the limits and wanting to see what the body can do. And yoga is a very small something they haven't considered. So,
Yes, of course.
So through addressing their needs, which is high peak performance, I'm able to show them that with pranayama and yoga how they actually will come to a much higher peak performance.
So their energy level will increase even for the sports people or younger people.
Right.
The energy level through the prana will increase, so they can, you know, their performance, if they are marathon runners or tennis players, this will increase. So the Nithya Yoga will enhance it. Oh, beautiful.
So Mashaman and I want to share a small thing. These two triathletes came to the class. They're like 25-year-old, big solid guys, lifting weights, jogging, doing triathlete, which is bike riding, swimming, and running. So in the 6 o'clock a.m. class, all we did was a small session, only 12 Surya Namaskars. That was it. But I moved them along. And at the end, they were both like, huh. And I said, now, we do 108 of these as a regular practice. And they both mouths dropped open and they said, 108, how do you do that? So see, what I'm trying to say is, just because you have this body that you're already working, that you think is fit, there still might be something missing. And yoga, Nithya Yoga, and these Nithya Kriyas are a great way to bring in those other two components.
Very good point. Very good point.
So shall we move on to the third?
Third, yeah.
Third, Nithya Yoga for Spirit.
Spirit. So in this session, Nithya Yoga for Spirit, we cover usually the chakras. The chakras are metaphysical bodies. I'm sure every one of you have heard about chakras so far, and we have umpteen chakras in our body, from lower part of the body to the Sahasrara in the head. But these are energy centers. These are called energy centers, and it's photographed by Kirlian photography. You could see the metaphysical bodies, and that's how people say you have the aura and all that. So these energy centers plays a very important role with our emotions. There are 7 main energy centers, and out of these energy centers, for the weight loss for our program today, we'll take 3.
Okay.
Which is called Vishuddhi, which is located in the throat, Vishuddhi chakra, and also the Manipuraka chakra, which is located in the navel center, and also the Anahata chakra, which is located in the heart center. So these are the main chakras we will be talking about it, isn't it, today? About how it contributes to our weight loss, how our emotions are contributing to our weight gain or weight loss. This is not only for weight loss, it is also for weight gain. If you see some bulimic people, or what is the other word we use for bulimia and anorexic people, even those can be helped by Nithya Yoga. It is not only for weight loss, this is for anemia also. People who are having anorexia also, they can be helped by Nithya Yoga. So that's what we address as the wellness and wholeness program. So if people say that if I attend this program, will I be losing weight? Not only if your body needs to gain weight, it will gain weight also. Okay. That's the beauty of this program, because it works at the emotional level. So people who are thin also wanting to attend this program. So that's what I want to say, main thing about it. And can you talk about how these 3 chakras we are going to be addressing, or are we going to be doing some asanas through these chakras, and how we'll be addressing this?
So we're going to have a second session just on these 3 chakras. We're going to talk about each chakra and exactly how it's affecting the emotions. For example, in Manipuraka, this is obviously the area where a lot of us get expansion if we're gaining weight. And why is that? So we'll look at these 3 and see how are they connected to not feeling fulfilled, which is connected to the weight gain. And some of that is about what we call misperception.
Okay.
So the whole weight loss thing and weight inability to gain is usually based on a sense of lack. Now, is that the truth? Do we all lack something, or is existence giving us everything we need at every moment? So what we're going to really look at is the idea that we have a perception of the world. And there may be other perceptions that may help us feel more fulfilled. So in our misperception of thinking that something's lacking, we go on trying to fill ourselves. In the heart area, what would that be? Filling ourselves needing love, needing attention. In the Vishuddhi,
Comparing yourself with other people always.
and especially talking about weight loss, isn't this one of the keys?
Yes.
Thinking we should be thin, thinking we should be able to wear those spaghetti strap yoga outfits.
Or looking like a model on the TV,
Exactly.
or we always compare.
Exactly, always comparing. So you can see the lack happening from the emotion connected
So
here.
unfulfillment happens in that day. Okay.
And then finally the Manipuraka, this is where we worry. And we already mentioned all that worry creating so much stress, and we tend to eat. How many of you have noticed when you're worried that you sit there and absentmindedly start putting things in the mouth?
Yes,
Yeah.
that gives the fulfillment.
Right,
Yeah.
we think it does.